Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Cinema Wise podcast. I am your host, Ryan Wolf, and with me as always is the other half of the Wise Guys, Matthew Gumthorpe. Matt, how we doing today, brother?
Come on, guys. Doing well. Always good to see you. Always good to talk to you.
Yeah, man. Another episode while we're still sitting here in quarantine, I guess you would call it. I mean, we're not really quarantined, but self-isolation is what we'll call it. Social distancing, be safe, wash your hands, do everything you need to do to be safe, guys. Don't take unnecessary risks. So today we're going to be running down a list of movies that have been pushed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It's a long list. We might not touch in depth on everything, because there might not be enough information out on it, just some things that we wanted to mention, and there are a couple that we will probably spend some significant time on because they were either just about to be released or there are some things that have happened in the news that will be some pretty interesting topics. Not to give too much of our episode away, but we're going to go ahead and jump in, and one of the first movies that I believe we were already supposed to see that has been pushed is the new James Bond film, No Time to Die. That one has been pushed all the way back to 2021, I believe. Yeah, man, I was excited for this one. Daniel Craig, Bond. He's hands down the best Bond to me, so I was really looking forward to this film.
I was not really looking forward to it. I'm not a big 007 guy. I hope you don't kick me off the show or anything, but I've actually never seen a James Bond movie from beginning to end in my entire life.
Really?
Really?
I think that you, if I know you as well as I think you do, you would not like the Pierce Brosnan Bond or anything that came before. I think you would think it would be too campy. But the Daniel Craig Bond, I think you would fucking love. Like Casino Royale, I think you would love. And that's the first movie, and I it's right up your alley.
This will be his third Bond movie? Or fourth?
Fifth. This is 5.
Fifth. For Daniel Craig?
Yeah, because he's got Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Spectre, Skyfall, and then No Time to Die is 5.
Wow, good for him.
Even though I did them out of order, but watch Casino Royale, and then we'll do that for another show we got in the pipe. So I got a movie for you, so it's good to know.
Do a 007. I'll watch as many as I can.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that this will be a good way to close it out. I was looking forward to it. It's kind of got the passing of the mantle in this to the African American actress that they have to take over.
It's so funny how PC you said that, because in my head I was going to be like, it's that black chick, right? And you're like, this African-American actress. And I'm like, yeah, that black chick.
Well, you can say that. I can't. Without getting torn up. But, yeah. What's her name? And she's fairly new. Lashana Lynch.
Nope. What was she in?
I think this is her... she was in Captain Marvel.
Didn't see it.
And then No Time to Die. She's got a lot of TV. She was in Bulletproof on TV. Lots of TV stuff before this. So, Powder Room. Looks like that. Fast Girls was her first movie. Another movie that was pushed for us is one that I know you and me were really looking forward to, and this has been pushed back to September 4th, and that's Quiet Place 2.
Yeah, I was very much looking forward to it because I just saw the first one recently, and I thought it was great. I thought it was, you know, I'll say original but also say as original as that kind of movie can be.
Yes, absolutely. Me both did it because I avoided A Quiet Place for such a long time because people were hyping it up so much, and they're like, "Oh, dude, it's great! It's really, really good. You're gonna love it." Da, 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 da. So I had that because everybody loved it so much. I was like, if I sit down and watch this, it's gonna let me down, and it didn't. I've had that happen with me multiple times. Fight Club was one of the ones that was like that for me, and just people hyped it up so much, and I sat down and I was like, it's okay. So, but yeah, this one looks great, continuing the story just out of the small trailers that we've seen. But when they announced it, just with them showing the title Quiet Place 2, they had my money from the get-go. I think this one has a great secondary story to tell because now it's completely different from the first one. It's taking off from now that the spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, it's been out for 2-3 years now. The dad dying and them figuring out how they can hurt these creatures and how their lives have changed with this new information.
Yeah. It's like I said, watching the first one, I didn't really see there being a sequel, and even after watching the first one and seeing there was a sequel, I was like, I wonder where they're going to go with the sequel. Is it going to follow just the same family and staying alive or moving or doing something different or whatever the case may be? And then I saw the short little trailers, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like it's like they're I guess almost Walking Dead style. They're going and finding other groups of people that are survived, that are survivors that have survived and joining up with them. And then I'm sure running into some of these survivors are like, we can't trust anyone. We're going to pretend
Absolutely.
or whatever the case may be. So I was like, okay, cool. That's a cool angle for it to take of seeing them, moved on from being just the one family and seeing, actually some clips and probably some flashback of like events leading up to it, because if I remember correctly, there really was no events leading up to the first one. It kind of was, you just had the family and what was going on with them.
Yeah, it just kind of opened and you were already like, they didn't explain what happened. It just dropped you right in, and I believe, I don't remember because it's been so long since I've seen it, but I believe the opening scene is them walking on that bridge to go get supplies.
Well, they were actually at like the drugstore or something.
So it shows them walking there as they're rolling the credits.
Yes.
Then like the first interactions you get, they're in the drugstore, and then it comes back from the drugstore and it takes off from there. But there was really no explanation of why this happened, how it happened, which was great and helped with the I guess the mystique of the movie, them trying to keep it hidden and things like that. And they didn't break the golden rule of horror films like so many of them do now in the trailers, is don't show the monster. You keep that for in the theater. There's been so many horror films that are now with creatures like this that at the end of the trailer, they show you the creature. I don't want to see the creature. Save that for when I'm in the theater giving you the bucks.
How in depth do you think they're going to get? Do you think they're going to talk about the origins of?
I kind of hope not.
I don't even want to know.
Yeah, I don't care. Right. I don't think everything needs to be explained. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're aliens or these creatures came, attacked, and this is what happens. That's all I need to know. So I hope they don't try and over-explain like a lot of the films do. That's partially what happened in It chapter 2 and things that, and we know how that ended for me. I loved the it books because it was set up in a way, and then in that second movie, they try to over-explain everything to people, and that's where it went off the rails for me personally. Ghostbusters Afterlife, they just dropped the trailer for that probably about a month ago, which is, I don't think we need another Ghostbuster film, but after watching that trailer, that's one that I'm more excited for, and I guess that's just because they are doing it with child actors, and Finn Wolfhard is probably my favorite up-and-coming actor to watch. I'll watch anything that he's in. So to see how they're taking it, I like what I've seen out of the trailer, and I think this is one I will give a shot to, but I don't need another Ghostbusters.
I could use another Ghostbusters. On that note, I will fully admit I did not see the latest Ghostbusters movie. It didn't get the greatest reviews.
It opened strong because it had bits and pieces of, I can't remember if it's Ghostbusters 1 or 2, but remember when they go to the library?
Yeah.
And they find the ghosts in the stacks?
Yep.
So they have a scene like that, but it's in a haunted house. And the guy's giving like a ghost tour, and he thinks that he's just doing the stuff on the tour to make the ghost, and then you find out that the house is actually haunted. So it opens strong with, like, if you watch that one scene by itself, you'd be like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then it just tanks.
Yeah, I've seen, like I said, I saw bits and pieces of it, and I just was not really looking forward to seeing the whole thing.
Yeah.
On that note, excuse me, this new movie, that trailer, the first trailer I saw, the only trailer I saw was a long trailer, I thought looked great. I thought it was, number one, a pretty original, and I don't remember the trailers for the first two movies because I was so young. But it looks almost like, not to say serious, but maybe like a legit like horror kind of movie. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
The setup in the trailer was like, oh, is this going to be actually like scary and kind of like taken seriously? And then it's like, oh, well then you have Paul Rudd, and you're like, well, definitely not that seriously. But then it's like, that's also the perfect casting ever to have like kind of serious stuff that's going to be funny. Like Paul Rudd's
the light comedy relief, which was what the original Ghostbusters were. Yes, you had Bill Murray in there that was bringing you comedy throughout, but most of the best scenes from him is when he's completely playing the straight man in that film. And you can have a great horror comedy film if you know how to pepper your comedy in and use it at the right moments. And I think from what we've seen, they are doing it correctly. So we're going to go ahead.
No, I was going to say it looks good. And just like you said, what's his name? Finn Wolfhard?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
The kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah. What's the girl's name with the glasses? Would I know her from anything? The little sister?
McKenna Grace is the little girl.
Who is?
McKenna Grace. She's the little girl.
Who's her mom?
And she is from Young Sheldon, Fuller House. She did Annabelle Comes Home, Captain Marvel, The Haunting of Hill House.
Wow, she's got some good stuff.
I, Tonya.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this as a new Ghostbusters movie. I'll go ahead and I don't know how many people watching this are like movie nerds, but I'll say something that's like movie nerd blasphemy. I enjoyed Ghostbusters 2 better than the first Ghostbusters.
I loved Ghostbusters 2, man. I liked it.
I know that's not what I'm supposed to think, but that's how I feel about the situation.
I actually agree with you on that. I liked 1 is great. Yeah. I liked 2 just a little bit more than I liked 1. Yeah. And it might be because it was a little bit more campy and funny, but it worked. For me, at least.
For me, it honestly might be an age thing of like, I saw Ghostbusters. I remember Ghostbusters 2 and seeing that and remembering that before I went and rewatched Ghostbusters 1. And I thought I was just saw at the time I was a kid, and I was like, Ghostbusters 2 is more entertaining to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe as a grown-up looking and watching the movies, like, the first one is definitely more intellectual and, you know, not that it's a deep movie, but, you know, a deeper movie than the second one. The second one is very cheesy and comedy, and but again, that's kind of why I like the first one, or the second one was very lighthearted, and I was a little bit older. I was still a kid, but I was older when it came out and understood the comedy more. And yeah, I know that's movie blasphemy. A lot of movie critics and movie people were like, "Oh, Ghostbusters 1 is so much better. It's the original." Like, it's good. Don't get me wrong. But fucking Statue of Liberty breaking through the top of the museum.
I'm in complete agreement with you. I liked too. So let's move along here. We've got some that there's not much out on, but Disney's Jungle Cruise is getting moved to July 20th, 2021. Fast 9 has been pushed back as well. Mulan has been pushed, but there are rumors circulating that it might go directly to Disney Plus.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Mulan was about to come out, right?
Yep.
Like, when was that due out?
It was with either this week or next week, if I remember correctly, but don't quote me on that. It was in the books, so they pushed it, and the reason they pushed it is they're looking for that box office money from China. But I don't know if how long this pandemic is going to last. There have been rumors that it will be releasing early on Disney Plus. That's one that I want to see, especially because I know a lot of people are angry about this, and I am probably the one person that is all for this. It's not.
Politics, you mean?
Huh?
Or you mean like because of politics they're against it, or just because they don't think it's gonna be a good movie? You said that people not looking forward to it.
People aren't looking forward to it because it's not going to have any of the music in it. It's going to be a literal telling of this story instead of the musical aspect of it.
Cartoon Dragon.
Correct. And it seems by the trailers and stuff, you're looking more at like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type of telling. So it's going to be very martial arts heavy. And I love watching martial arts movies. So seeing this story with a fantastic martial arts cast, all for it. I think it actually does something for the movie, which is going to separate it from all the other Disney remakes. Like if you take Lion King, for example, that is a shot-for-shot remake of the animated movie, but you took all the heart and soul out of that movie. So the live action, even though it's all animated, again, Lion King sucks in comparison to the original. This retelling is going to be so different that I think it'll actually make it a better movie and just be a better retelling of this story. It'll have that the Jungle Book effect. People love Jungle Book because it was new and fresh and a different way to view a story that we already knew.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that. I mean, it's Mulan wasn't high on my list. I'm actually kind of more looking forward to this version of it than the animated version of it, to be honest.
I think I've seen the animated version one time.
Yeah, I think I've seen it twice.
So, Wonder Woman 1984 has been pushed back.
That was also wrapped up and ready to go, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to see that at the end of this month or beginning of next month. And now it's pushed to August 14th, I believe. Don't quote me on the date, but I believe it's August 14th. And depending on this pandemic, they might push that back even farther. Marvel moved the entire Phase 4 of theirs. I'm going to run through some of the dates because a lot of it, there's not much to go on. They haven't really started shooting anything. The dates have just shuffled. So the Eternals moves to February 12th, 2021. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings moves to May 7th, 2021. Doctor Strange 2 goes to November 5th, 2021. Thor Love and Thunder has been pushed all the way back to February 18th, 2022. While Black Panther 2 and Captain Marvel both retain their dates. Black Panther 2 goes to, the date for that will be May 6th, 2022, and Captain Marvel is July 8th, 2022. The big news is with that is that you have Black Widow being pushed to November 6th, 2020, and New Mutants has been pushed as well. With Black Widow and New Mutants, there are rumors of those going also directly to Disney Plus if this holds out much longer. Let's go ahead and start with New Mutants. I think they just need to put that shit on Disney Plus. They've had so many problems throughout the production of it. Just release it, get it out of the way, and let's move on.
I've been seeing trailers for this movie for so long, and not a single one of them have I been like, I can't wait to see that movie. The best ones was the latest trailer I saw. The newest trailer is definitely the best one.
That's after they did the reshoots and everything.
I'm like, I might want to go see this movie now. But up until that, I was kind of like, dude, is this a TV movie? Like, is this even a fucking high production movie? What's going on? It gets pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and then it was finally like actually supposed to be coming out. Dude, put that show on Disney Plus. Call it a loss. Write it off. I think if you release in theaters, it's going to be a bomb.
It's going to be a bomb. It's going to be a dud.
Just put it on TV. That's if I could watch it for free. I'm 100 times more likely to watch it. I wouldn't pay to watch it based on what I've seen. I wouldn't pay to watch it, but for free on Disney Plus, I'll probably watch it within the first couple of days it comes out.
I'm in complete agreement because when either a month or 2 months back, when Fox, because it was originally part of Fox, because Fox sold all the rights to the X-Men back to Disney when Disney bought out almost all of Fox's properties. There were rumors that New Mutants, when that deal was struck, that they were just going to scrap the movie and not even release it. So I feel the same way. Put it on Disney Plus, write it off, count it as a loss, and let's move forward. But on the other end of that coin, Black Widow has the same thing, and I think that one, I might take the gamble and hold for it for theaters. Because I think you want to show one of the people that have been working on this universe and helped make it what it is for over 10 years, that they have faith in her starring in her own movie. So I think that, and I think that it'll be one of the better ones to come out. I'm really looking forward to the Black Widow movie.
I'm looking forward to it. I thought the trailers looked good. I think she deserves her own movie. Same reason that you said. I think she's been one of the more solid and very consistent characters throughout the entire Marvel universe from beginning, literally for this first phase or whatever phase they're in. Like, it is from beginning to where they're at now. Like, even her death, and then she's still coming back after that. Like, glad she got her own movie. I'm very much looking forward to it. Something I'm really looking forward to is kind of the internet rumors of like it's gonna these some of these other characters that are being introduced in this Marvel film are gonna like pave the way of getting in some X-Men characters and other characters from the Marvel universe
Yep, they're
into
starting to
the Marvel
bring.
Cinematic Universe, which to me is the most exciting thing about this movie,
Yeah,
and which
that.
is why I'm willing to wait for it.
I mean, let's be completely honest. The whole reason that Fox deal went down is so that Disney could get the X-Men back because Kevin Feige wanted the X-Men to tell. Because now you have Avengers and X-Men, and how many comics have been done where they fight each other or they team up, and the ability to extend all those characters and all these stories with that simple purchase, they probably have 20 more years of stories that they can tell just on getting that group. And smart move for them, with them introducing, and it also seems like they are taking the younger characters, the other Black Widows, as you would say, and
Right.
even though Scarlett Johansson's character is done, the character of Black Widow is not, because now you're showing that there's multiple of them,
Right.
and now, it's good for business because within the story, we don't have to replace Black Widow. Black Widow is just the moniker, and now we can recast whenever the hell we want. If we ever have a problem, we can recast. We've already built it into the story of why we can. So, smart move on them, man.
Yeah. And based on the trailers and not being a huge Black Widow, like I don't know much about her before the cinematic universe, really. You know, um, I thought the trailers made me more interested than anything before that. After I saw those trailers, I was like, all right, you know what? I wasn't not looking forward to it, but I wasn't really excited for it. But now I'm like, all right, yeah, I actually want to see this movie. Like, looks good.
Yeah, and I
Not gonna
think that
lie,
was that.
David Harbour being in it, like, helped. Like, I saw that shit and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I love this guy. Like, and it looks like he does a really good character for himself in this movie. So
Yeah,
definitely looking forward to it.
yeah. I think it's a smart move, taking a character that became really popular because of the cinematic universe. Um, she's not one that I I would have ever picked up a comic for when I go to the shop. So, but now that she has become such an integral part of the story and things like that, I think it's great. And she's a really strong female character. She delivers probably the biggest heartfelt, dramatic moment in Endgame for you, and it's completely believable, and it's great storytelling to that entire team. So I think it's well worth it to push it and not release it on Disney Plus.
I would agree 100% on that. That's one that I kind of think I would rather see it in theaters. To be honest with you, like I'd rather wait and see it in theaters.
You kind of
And
feel that you
hopefully,
owe it
like
to them.
November 11th or November 6th seems like reasonable. Like I hope things are back to normal by then.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, so that was the entire Marvel Phase 4 slate. A couple other things that have been pushed, and things that have, excuse me, stopped production. They either are in the midst of shooting or have stopped pre-production on. Antlers, there's already a trailer out for it. It's a horror movie. Did you get a chance to check that out? I know we talked about looking at the.
I didn't, and I kept meaning to because when you told me about it, I was like, dude, I have to check that out.
Yeah.
Which is in one of our lost episodes that
Yeah.
only exists to me and Ryan.
Yeah. So yeah, that one is really, really it's interesting. If you haven't seen the trailer for it, check it out on IMDb. Spiral, which is the Chris Rock produced and starring with Samuel L. Jackson Saw reboot, which looks gritty. It looks like a true crime drama, but it's not. But it's something that really piqued my interest.
So, let me ask you this, and this is a real question. Like, I'm not just, like, trying to be funny or anything like that. Was it as hard for you, just because it's Chris Rock, the entire time, because of his comedic style, I was, like, waiting for any second for, like, a fucking punchline. Like, just because it's Chris Rock, like, I was like, I'm taking this seriously because he seems like he's being serious, but it's kind of his thing to be like, oh, I'm being really serious. Here's a punchline. Oh shit! Fall out of my chair. And I was like, I feel like the whole movie, I'm gonna be like, okay, is there a punchline, or is this really serious? Like, am I taking this really seriously, or am I supposed to be like, dude, this is Chris Rock. Like, he's not done anything serious that I can recall, like, ever.
Yes, I'm waiting on a punchline. Do I think the entire movie is going to be him being a straight man? Absolutely not. But from the parts that I saw, it seems like he's got some dramatic chops, and I want to see. I hope that he plays this entire movie dead serious, balls to the wall. If he didn't crack a single joke, I think I would like that more than I would him breaking that character and going into his comedic style.
Right, I agree with that 100%, but that's what I'm saying is, like, I'm going to be waiting for that the whole time. Like, the more serious he gets, the more I'm like, it's that punchline just around the corner.
Yeah. Definitely some reservations on it, but I don't think we can answer that question until we're sitting in the seat watching the film. If he nails it within the first 5 minutes and you're like, okay, we're not getting a single joke, I think he will have people dialed in. It's just like Adam Sandler when he did, and I haven't watched it yet, but Uncut Gems, when that trailer came out, because he's so dialed in, I want to see that movie so freaking bad. We also have things that have stopped production. Matrix 4, Jurassic World Dominion, Mission Impossible 7. There is a Elvis Presley biopic involving Tom Hanks that has stopped production. And then Indiana Jones 5, which we talked about the other day, how you said, I don't think there's going to be an Indiana Jones 5, has a date of July 29th, 2022. So
They haven't even cast that shit yet.
Oh, Harrison Ford is attached. But other than that, the last couple that we have going in, the Batman has stopped production, which is sad because everything that I'm seeing from this, I really enjoy what I've seen with Pattinson's Batsuit, the car, and the motorcycle.
So I'm a little bit out of the loop with this Batman. Is this gonna fit into the Justice League current DC Marvel or DC universe?
The only pieces.
Is it completely different? Is it different?
It's completely different. If they did it to where they would, the DC extended universe, in my opinion, is dead. The only thing that you are keeping from that is Wonder Woman and Aquaman. And then they added Shazam because Shazam was a big hit. But
maybe the Flash, but we'll get to that in
a minute. And the other one that I think that they should, and I am 100% on board for, is keeping Henry Cavill as Superman.
I was about to say that. I was about to say, like, I honestly wouldn't mind seeing another Superman movie with him. I thought he was pretty decent.
He is.
Justice League, and Justice League wasn't a great movie, but I watched it recently with commercials, and I was like, this wasn't nearly as bad as everyone said it was, in my opinion. only because it was what I expected it to be.
And he also, it's two different directors cutting stuff together. So you have vision from one and vision from another because he had the thing happen. I think it was with his daughter, so he had to stop.
Yeah.
So you're getting a mashup of here's what we have. What can you do with this? And I've gone on record with this so much. Henry Cavill is the best on-screen Superman we've ever had. Whatever problems you have with the films, if you say it's him, you're crazy. He is straight off the book. I mean, when you take him and you know, Superman's my guy. That's my character. That's
right.
Who I love.
It's on your car.
Yeah, it's on everything. It's everything. But for someone who knows that character, it's a very different character than what we get in the books or things like that. And I actually liked this different portrayal of him. But there's not a single problem with his acting. He's great in The Witcher, which is completely polar opposite as well. It's not the actor. He definitely looks like Superman. He's the best looking Superman we've ever had. He is literally straight off the page.
I haven't seen The Witcher. I do need to watch it. Maybe I will watch that. You know who my favorite Superman ever was? And I'm not big on Superman. I never read any of the comics or anything like that. You know what my favorite Superman was? Kind of along the lines of my favorite Batman. Was a fucking animated series, dude.
Yeah, man.
I feel like that the animated fucking Batman was the best Batman story I've seen that was put to motion, that was not on a comic. It was, and I don't even know if that follows. I feel like mostly the animated shows follow the comics closest, but that Superman animated was awesome.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
They come and go on Amazon all the time, and when it's free, I pick up right where I left off. And that and the animated Batman are two box sets that I would love to have to just sit and binge forever. They're really are works of art, and some of the characters that came out of those, specifically Batman, you wouldn't have Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey or anything if it wasn't for that animated show.
So let me ask you this. Would you watch if you said, I'm going to take the Batman animated series, take the best storylines that were the longest and the best and was story-driven, condense it, and just make it into almost what Disney did for The Lion King and say, I'm going to take this animated series, the best storylines, obviously get the Joker involved, but you have to have Darkseid and all that other stuff involved, and just literally take almost shot for shot a condensed 2 hours of the best storylines of the animated series, but live acted it out.
As long as you didn't
with CGI, would you want to see that in theaters?
Yeah,
I would pay 10 times a movie ticket to see that in theaters.
But you would have to have the right people do it, because you can't just mash 6 or 7 stories into a 2-hour period, because then you get, which people give a whole lot of shit, Batman vs. Superman. They took probably the biggest Superman book, which is Death of Superman, and they mashed it together with one of the best Batman books, which is The Dark Knight Returns, and they mashed them together and tried to create a cohesive story, and it didn't work.
Well, I mean, all right then. And that's a valid point, though. I would almost say, to you realistically, even if you took the animated series and you wanted to condense it with just the main continuing storyline, and that means cutting out a lot of big villains, but still, you can cut out
But still, even some of those,
you could cut out. There's the the whole puppet guy. Like he had multiple episodes that were like very
Yeah.
cohesive
You're talking
and
about
could go
Scarface.
together. And that could go together. And like Mudman like had a bunch of different separate
Clayface.
cohesive like what's that?
Clayface, the
Clayface.
actor.
Yeah, Clayface.
Even like when they introduced Catwoman in that, she had like a 6-episode arc. Making that into one movie, absolutely. And then the sequel to that being the Clayface story, absolutely. Then the sequel to that, you do the Two-Face story. Then you save for the last one. Then you do the Joker stuff.
But that's too many movies. That's what I'm saying. You can't do that.
Give them all. I'll take them all.
You can't do that. Like you literally have to say, like I'm trying to say, like cut out all that stuff. Make it to where like you want like the whole team up thing has to happen at this point. Like the Avengers, it made it to where if you're gonna do comics and there's only the 2 big comics that are even close in the movie theaters right now, like that's what you have to do. You can't. Solo superhero movies right now are just not going to hold the attention of anybody.
So here's what I do. If Warner Brothers came to me and said, "Give us the plan. What are you going to do?" Here's what I would do. I would do. You have to get a new Batman, so you need a solo Batman film with a cameo to a smaller villain and Superman where he has to team up with Superman just to bring that Batman with Cavill's Superman. Instead of doing Justice League in the next film, you just do World's Finest.
So you're going to pretend like Justice League never happened is what you're
Correct. That you have to. So that's we'll get into it right now. So the Flash movie that they're supposed to be doing. That's supposed to be Flashpoint, where Flash goes back in time and he resets the timeline. They have the character to do that.
Sounds so good.
So you do that, but I think you need to take your 2 biggest guns and put those forward, and then build everything around those.
What are the 2 biggest guns?
Superman and Batman.
Batman and Superman. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Although Wonder Woman is doing it incredibly better than both of them in the box office.
Yeah, but you already have her established. But you need to reestablish that a Batman that can have the gravitas to stand up to Superman. You know what I mean?
Ben Affleck can do that. No.
I think he can when he's sober and he's not phoning it in.
I'm with you. But again, like at this point, I would almost say let's take, because of the current events, which we're really right on the cusp of getting into, but keep Cavill, keep Gal Gadot,
and Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Keep Momoa. Okay, I'll do that.
When they released that shot of him as Aquaman, I was like, this makes perfect sense. Why was he ever drawn as a white guy? I was like, he should have always been someone from the islands. It makes perfect sense.
So let's keep all that, and let's, because of recent events, get a new Batman. Shit, can't they? I don't know the Flash storyline that well. Can't they just use a different Flash? Get the fucking Flash guy from the TV show and have him jump in there.
So what they could do is they could do that, or they could do. There's multiple Flashes, so they could do Barry Allen's son. They could do Wally West. They could do Barry Allen from Earth 3. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they could do. I mean, you don't have to have Ezra Miller.
Basically, the thing that we've been skirting for the past 5-10 minutes here is Ezra Miller, who was the Flash, and the Justice League, who
also is in Fantastic Beasts, which was just pushed.
For the record, didn't see Fantastic Beasts. Didn't even finish Harry Potter yet. Not against it, just haven't done it. But I thought it was great for Flash. I thought actually he's one of my favorite characters in the Justice League movie. Thought he was really well cast. I really enjoyed it. On that note, I've seen the video, and by seeing the video, I mean seeing 10 different video versions of the video.
They're all like 5 seconds.
And rewatched every version of this video. And for anyone that hasn't seen the video, watch the video. Ezra Miller chokes out the fan. And it's one of these things where it's like, I feel like because of the response of everyone jumping down his back in the like cancel his movies shit, I will reserve judgment until someone tells me what happened before the video.
So let's talk about the video, because the video that I saw was literally 5 seconds, and it's a woman and she's walking up and she's got her hands out like this.
Yeah.
And you hear him go, "You want to fight?" And then he grabs her by the throat and gently places her on the floor. From what I saw, it didn't look very violent, as if you were trying to throw someone down. It looked like it was staged. So yes, I want to see what was before that 5-second clip and when it was cut off.
Yes.
Because if he did choke her out, absolutely, don't put him in any more movies. None of that. You can't do that.
I don't think he choked her out.
I don't think he did either.
I think it was really a video that was taken out of context, and I was looking for the link. When I Googled it, I scrolled looking for the link of, like, this is not what it looks like. This is, like, some, like, edited, like, 5-second out of context nonsense. Because that's what it seems like.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me, too.
Is he maybe, like, going too far, or maybe it wasn't what she expected? Okay, yes. Was he legitimately trying to harm this woman? Not really. Like, not from what I saw.
Not from what I saw either. I think that it's out of context. Somebody took because it's literally only 5 seconds. So they took that 5 seconds of what they wanted you to see and threw it up on whatever website they wanted, their Instagram or whatever, just to get, it's clickbait.
And yeah, it's clickbait. And what's horrible, and I don't want to get too political in our podcast, but what's horrible was, like, when I instantly was like, I want to learn more, I want to see more, like, whatever. Literally 3 or 4 links down, I see, like, Ezra Miller with, like, lipstick and makeup on, as if that has anything to do with this video, which is what I was trying to look for, was, like, this video. And it was like, oh, well, this guy, like, is weird, and he, like, wears lipstick, and he identifies as, like, whatever, and I'm like, what does that have to do with this video? Like, this is, like, such a short video, and I didn't see anything, and I'm looking at the description of the video, and it's like, Ezra Miller chokes out this fan and slams to the ground, and I'm like watching this video over and over and over and over. And I'm like, that's not what I'm seeing at all. Like, is he going too far? Is it what she didn't expect? Like, maybe he was really, like, getting carried away. Did he actually harm this person? Like, no. Was she actually scared for her safety? Like, I don't know.
We don't. Like, you really can't tell.
Show me after. Let me talk to this woman. What does she say happened? Like, what does the person filming say happened? I think it's so out of context. I almost feel bad because maybe he is a crazy fucking person. Maybe he did fucking choke out this fan that was just trying to say what's up to him. Like, if that's the case, totally different story. Like, yeah, cancel those fucking movies, reshoot them, recast, whatever. But based off of what I saw, I honestly cast very little, if no, judgment on him.
Because she seems to be giggling in the video.
It looks like staged. It looks like she knows. It looks like she's not really scared for himself. It looks like the guy behind the camera saying "bro, bro, 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 bro." Maybe it's just like, what if afterwards he turned and was like, "Oh, sorry, dude. Like, got carried away, maybe a little bit. I was just joking around." Like, that literally could be the next 3 seconds of that video.
Yeah,
You know
or
what
it
I
could
mean?
be this is my sister or whatever it is. But I mean, do you have the right to put your hands on somebody? No, but at the same time, we don't know the full context of
Right.
what is happening in that situation. The girl
In
hasn't
some cases, she could have been like, "This is the coolest fucking thing ever. Like, I love the Flash, and he fucking acted this fucking shit out with me. Like, it doesn't look like I don't
well, and
know.
it
And I
didn't even
can't
have to be
tell.
that. I mean, he's famous for playing a serial killer in I think it's called something about Dave or something. I haven't seen the movie, but maybe it's from one of his past works. We don't know. It was at it, and it wasn't even like it was at a fan event or something.
Right.
So I mean, but
Is it Walmart or some shit?
yeah, but even on top of that, excuse me, the girl hasn't come out and said anything.
Right. Which is, I'm wondering, like, I want to hear from her. I want to
Yeah,
hear her side of the story. Like, I want to hear, like, yeah, like, I was scared for my life, like, he was choking me out. Or I want to hear, like, no, this has really been taken out of context. Like, he was totally joking around. He totally picked me up afterwards and brushed my shoulders off and was like, hey, how was that? Was it convincing? Like, we don't know the context of this. Like, and until I know that, I really don't have any problem with it, and I would be disappointed if he had movies that were reshot and canceled because of this like 5 second video that someone took on their phone.
once something like that is out, it's a done deal for studios. They gotta find something. But he's worked with Warner Brothers for I think a lot of his big movies are produced by Warner Brothers. So I don't know what they're gonna do with any of this. Let's
Need to do some damage control while people are quarantined. They need to go and get this woman and say, and that's like kind of a point of where I'm at is like at this point, you'd think the damage control would be like, get this person to come out and say, hey guys, like I'm totally okay, like it was a joke that like got taken out of context, and it's like I'm really okay, and that's like I literally was scrolling looking for the article that said this whole thing was taken out of context, and I couldn't find it. Everything was like crazy Ezra Miller, like acting out again, like being all crazy, choking out this fan. And that was everything I found. And I was like, dude, like I want to be on his side, but I need some evidence that he didn't just choke out this lady. I think the new Uncharted is gonna be like the new Indiana Jones. It's gonna be, it's treasure hunter kind of guy. Like,
I actually missed that. That is on our show notes, and
yeah, I know.
I remember last time in one of our Lost episodes that we were talking about how we didn't think this thing would ever get off the ground.
Yeah,
The other day, like last week, Uncharted has officially started shooting before
yeah.
this whole pandemic. So something that we never thought we would actually get to see is coming out. So hopefully they get it right. This has been in the works for 2 or 3 years now. So
Who's Drake? Who's like
Tom Holland.
cast as me? Tom Holland?
Tom Holland is going to be Drake, and
He better be working out. That's all I have to say about that.
Mark Wahlberg is going to be Sully.
Tom Collins better be needs protein right now during this pandemic because Nathan Drake is a fucking stud.
Yeah, so Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, Antonio Banderas
Wow.
are the top 3 that are on there out of the 5, and I just don't know who these other people are.
I hate to say it like that. Those first 2 names are great, but when Antonio Banderas is your third biggest name, it makes me question.
So we'll see what they do, and which story they're going to tell. I mean, it's basically young Indiana Jones. So the blueprint's there.
That's good.
Exactly, the blueprint's there. Your audience is built in. So you have to nail it. If you don't, it's one of the biggest missed opportunities you could ever have. Anything else you want to jump back in with, or?
I think so, man.
Yeah.
Oh, there is something. There's big movie stuff I wanted to talk about that like wasn't in our show notes, but is huge for both of us. And I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. You see this news that's going around that AMC is in such bad shape that like movie theaters may not reopen.
Oh yeah, it's not
Right?
just AMC. It's going to be a lot. It's this whole thing. It's gonna change how we enjoy film, how we take in that content, how the studios are going to release that content. You know what I mean? It's going to be very different when we're on the positive side of this whole thing. What comes down the gate for us as fans and for them as studios.
Can you imagine that though? Like no movie theaters? Like that's crazy. I think they should rethink how they do movie theaters. Close them. Just close them during the day. Open them at night. Make people come out at night to see movies, and pay people like you won't have to pay like the guy during the day to be there. You won't have to pay to run the electricity during the day. Just do that shit at night. Make people come out at night to watch movie theaters. Maybe fucking do drive-in movies.
I would love to see those
would
come
be
back.
so good, right? Because people would stay in their own fucking cars with the people that they live with and be able to go out and watch movies like at a drive-in movie theater and be socially distant and to be able to like watch movies in like a movie setting without like, you know, to be able to get out. Like we wouldn't be at home. Like we'd be able to go out and say, hey, look, we're going to go see this fucking drive-in movie. We're going to sit in our car. And let's be real, where me and you live, they're going to sit in their, like, Suburbans with, like, you know what I mean, leather seats and stuff. Like, what would be better right now than for a whole neighborhood? Like, let's say Brambleton or Ashburn Village or, you know, any of these other neighborhoods, Sugarland, Countryside. You'd be like, oh, we're going to do this, like, drive-in movie where everyone just comes in their cars and we're going to broadcast this thing on this big-ass screen. Like, they wouldn't have a parking lot big enough for people to do that right now.
Yeah.
Like, so many people would want to do that.
Thank you guys so much for watching us today. Make sure you visit us on www.cinemawise.com. Make sure you join the Facebook group. Talk to us there. We want to interact with you guys. All the links are already up on the website to the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that. It's all up there. Make sure you guys are liking the videos, share them with your friends. Make sure everybody gets a chance to see this. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button on the YouTube page when you get there so you don't miss any of our great content that we got coming out for you. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ryan Wolf, your host. Over on the other screen, that is Matt Gunthorpe, the other half of the Wise Guys. Matt, anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, thanks to anyone that watched until this point. If you watched till this point, give me a call on my personal phone number and you get free movie tickets when theaters reopen.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys later. Thank you so much.